What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? We have more Heroes of the Storm action with Road to BlizzCon coming up, and our first map today is Battlefield of Eternity. Huron plays against Spartanien, Germany versus Spain if you so want, and we are going to see some pretty cool heroes here as well. The map, of course, is one of the newer maps, and the teams are currently getting used to it. It has been around for a few weeks, and by now the teams apparently feel comfortable enough to play it in an important tournament as Road to BlizzCon. A lot of money on the line, but it's not only about the money, it's about those two spots for the European final in Prague that the two teams are fighting for. We have them all in this game again. It is Johanna together with Leoric on the side of Spartanien, and they are actually playing as their damage dealers, Raynor and Sylvanas, two heroes that we don't see too often, especially of course when it comes to the commander himself. Raynor is going to show us today if he can take down Huron team, and Huron, they have a couple of very solid heroes on their own side, Jaina, which is one of them, also in Zebo, and the front line, especially that Muradin is one of the key heroes here to block out the damage. So guys, without further ado, map number 1 in the best of 3 series coming up now between Spartanien and Huron here in Battlefield of Eternity. Alright everybody, round of 16 starting in here at the Road to BlizzCon Qualifier. Qualifier number 2, a lot of prize money on the line, 25,000 in total, and also of course spots for the European Qualifier final in Prague. But we have now two teams battling for the next round. It's Huron versus Spartanien, Spain versus Germany. To the left side we have Vipelino on Muradin, Hiruka on Malfurion, Shat on Jaina, Alistair on Zebo, and Redex on Thagara. To the right side of the map, it is the German team with Glucosa on Uther, Nomi on Johanna, Grulum on Leoric here for the double tank lineup. We have Frieza on Raynor. Alright, and Coco playing Sylvanas here. I'm Khaldor, with me is Thatcher. We're going to bring you the coverage here at the round of 16 at the Road to BlizzCon Qualifier.
It is quite hard to pick less picked melee ranged assassins, if you tried. Coming in from Team Spartanien here with that the Raynor and the Sylvanas, although the Sylvanas in the last game we cast very effective. We're going to see a lot of damage not good to Muradin here.
Yeah, talking about effective, and for now the Druid was also pretty much on spot, as was that Blizzard. A lot of aggression in this early game. We had already Leoric moving up to the top lane, Nezebo is now there too, and down here it's a 4 versus 4. Coco, Glucosa, Nomi and Frieza. They are building the quad lane currently for Team Spartanien. We have on level 1, Give Me More taken on Raynor. We actually see him a bit more. We saw a game with him yesterday, now we're seeing one today. I kind of like that he's not really back, but I really like that we at least get a glimpse of him every now and then, as we do of other heroes like Tychus.
Agreed. I also like that they are running him with the midlife crisis skin, so that is pretty cool for me. And they're doing pretty well in this lane. They were able to push it up pretty effectively thanks to that Sylvanas and the Inspire from Raynor.
Up at the top lane, Grulum is on Leoric again, of course, on the off lane. Vipelino, that Candy Muradin skin, I don't know. Pedo Muradin is in the house. You want to have some candy? And moves straight in with a Thunderclap. I don't know, like that skin is just weird as hell. But he at least runs the money pick, so I give him kudos for that. That's he's gonna get some credits. That's brownie points right there.
Yeah, extra points are always in my book for color coordination on your skin and mount.
So Muradin is trying to hand out some candy and free Storm Bolts, but the Storm Bolt is not hitting. Glucosa hitting that stun though, and the kill against Jaina. Spartanien, they're doing well here. First kill in the game for them.
Yeah, able to take down Jaina there pretty effectively. Jaina, actually, her escape route was body blocked by Muradin, and that only happened due to the really nice condemn from the Johanna. Nezebo dying in the top lane as well, and Spartanien just wrecking at the moment.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Like, Nezebo should not die against Leoric solo. That is one of those things that you usually see coming. But good kill here by Grulum, so that is amazing for them. They have an earlier level 4 talent with a Boundless Conviction. It's very surprising to me, by the way, that we're seeing Uther with a Conjurer's Pursuit. It's a really bad talent to take on this map, so I would have expected either reach or block. I still feel that Leoric has a very good reason to go for reanimation, because it's absolutely amazing for him, especially with this trade, but for Uther I don't really like the choice.
Yeah, like you miss out on laning so much, you miss out on enough globes, you get 2 in the middle.
And that's only if you win it.
Yeah, so not really worth here. Raynor taking the focus attack, so continuing to drop more damage, going with that auto attack build, and the giving more for that extra sustain.
Now we have now the attack from the Spanish team. Huron is pretty solid. They're a very strong team and they've been around for quite some time now. We have a lot of Spanish teams, by the way. Big shout out here to the Spanish community. They have amazing players. I mean, Team Liquid is not the only team that they have that is quite good. Huron is another one. We have actually a few of those. Now they are trying to take down Spartanien, but the Germans with a very good start in the game, as we've been talking about. And now they are defending their own Immortal here. They have, of course, also in this case now the Envenom on the side of Sylvanas. I think you already talked about that. Laws of Hope for Johanna. And the Stormbolt build for Muradin that he's going to try and use against those structures later on in the game. But for now, it's all about the Immortals.
People are taking quite a lot of damage. Does not have cleanse yet and does go down to Vipolino. Grulum now also out of position, gets taken down. He was trying to finish off the Immortal there, but instead he does go down, and that forces the rest of Spartanien to back up. Frieza, though, is getting focused down and will die as well.
Yeah, jumps in. Grulum is back to business. So with a great start into the game, the German team was able to get a slight lead, but the Spaniards, they took it around again. We have now 3 kills against 2, and the Immortal still going towards the German team. So they get a bit of a push at the bot lane, and they're already using Coco with a Black Arrow trait and his Shadow Dagger to disable those towers. Leoric dying again, though. He was moving all the way to the left. Apparently he got lost a bit. Wants to join the Lost Vikings, but not gonna happen, my friend. Sorry. Even with that new skin that you have, you are just a bit too big for that.
Yeah, he was being chased down, and he decided to go that way to try and distract the enemies as much as possible, as there was no chance of him living if he went the other way. We're going to see Spartanien push this very aggressively with Sylvanas, with Raynor, and Leoric has just arrived back from the Hall of the Storms.
Now we currently also have on level 7 now Iceland's taken, so with Frostbolt reduction, a lot of lockdown that you have with it. Or Revolution Overdrive on level 6, on level 7 is normal talent to take for Raynor if you play him. The focused attack's going to give him a lot more damage. Oftentimes you want to play him with Seasoned Marksman, but as we've been talking about earlier on this map in particular, stacking talents are pretty bad. Well, maybe with the exception of using Gathering Power, which can be a great talent here since there's a lot of brawling going on in the middle of the map. But everything where you need either minion stacks or you are trying to head into global regeneration stacks, they are not really the best here. Conviction taken, Lingering Apparition, level 7, as standard as it can get, I would say.
Yeah, the Revolution Overdrive is still quite interesting, but most of these talents are interesting because we don't see Raynor that often. The Enduring Growth instead of the Cleanse coming in from the Malfurion, and that is actually quite interesting because there's a lot of stun potential on the side of Spartanien, but they do need some sustain for their team.
Yeah, one of the things that Raynor could do in level 13 and level 16 is either go into the penetrating round talents, but also quite popular is Giant Killer for him, especially against heroes like Muradin. Can be extremely strong, and then he can go for Berserk on 16 for a massive amount of burst damage. And talking burst damage, Zagara has experienced a lot of that herself, and with that Jaina or with that Sylvanas at the bot lane, we see another fort about to be dropped. But here comes Vipolino, and he wants a kill against Frieza or Coco.
Nomi taking a lot of damage here. He does get cleansed, doesn't have his trait up at the moment, but Alistair chased a bit too deep here, gets taken down. Nomi takes a Blizzard and a Cone of Cold to the face. He is going to back up, but now Frieza is in trouble. His trait is not up, but he gets out as well.
Really well done here. Huron a bit too aggressive. They thought they could get the kills in time. I mean, look at the heroes on the side of Spartanien. All of them so low. I mean, it's very tempting to jump in and try and take them out here, but they lose 2 heroes in the process. It's 5 kills against 4 now, and more importantly for Spartanien, we are seeing the heroic ability for them. So there is absolutely no way that Huron can go and defend their Immortal at this point. There's a Divine Shield, Blessed Shield, March of the Black King. We have Raynor's Raiders and the Wailing Arrow. That gives Spartanien a massive lead in the game now.
Yep, and they're using this to their advantage. Going to try and get Zagara here as there's no fort for her to hide behind. There's the Wailing Arrow, and she gets taken down. Raiders used as well here. Just going to send them to chase after Vipolino here, but that means they will die to towers.
They take the tower down here, they kill another hero. Coco is getting rid of those creep tumors with a Haunting Wave, and they move in towards that Immortal once again. The level 10s are finally ready for Huron, but it might be a bit too late. They are trying to defend here. They're moving in with everything that they have. The Water Elemental is already in play, and again the stun's coming in with the Wall of Zombies trapping Coco, but he jumps away with a Haunting Wave. And up at the top, on the other hand, Leoric just barely getting away there, or is he? No.
Dies to a Moonfire in the end. There's the Divine Shield used on Raid to keep him alive. Nomi in full retreat. Does he have his trait up? Yes, he does. He is able to back away from this. Leoric was taken down at the end, but now some counter damage is able to come out from Huron.
That's a lot of damage that they push in. They could actually even get the Immortal, and Leoric is going to be the only one attacking the other one. They're going straight in again, and who's going to get it? It is Huron. They get it. They actually get the Immortal. Unbelievable, but they might lose, chat. Malfurion with Tranquility is keeping everybody alive.
Frieza tries to finish him off, but goes down himself here. Nomi also being dropped quite low. Pops his straight here to try and get himself out. Grulum will slow down Vipolino, so there is no chase. But Coco has been found. Haunting Waves over the wall. Alistair thinking about going in, but remembered what happened last time. And back away.
Yeah, very good point. It happened to a lot of these teams. They are just trying to go so deep for their kills, and they overextend a tiny bit, and then the opponent is turning it around. I really like it. A lot of turnarounds currently in this match. Take that, IGN. Down to the bot lane, we have the Immortal now pushing, and, well, it's doing a significant amount of damage. The wall is gone, so Huron, they are back to business again. It looked actually really bad for them when level 10 was hit for Spartanien, but Spartanien did not get the Immortal. Huron came back, they came back with a vengeance, and now they are trying to push the top lane as well, but Grulum is the only defender.
Spartanien able to defend that Immortal very efficiently, though there was a tiny amount of shield on it due to how little health was left on the Immortal of Huron when they took down Spartanians. So now Spartanien are just waiting for everyone to revive. They are taking their mercenaries and still leaving Leoric up in the top lane just to chill.
Yeah, tri-lane against Grulum, and a rotation again after the camp was taken from Spartanien. Both of the teams now on level 12, an identical amount of kills, and they're moving into the top lane with 4 heroes. Only Johanna at the bot lane. Leoric is trying to push this one, but Johanna the one to soak the experience at the bottom.
Yeah, Johanna soaking the experience and grabbing the mercenary camp at the moment, not even in the lane for those minions. And we can see that they're just trying to defend that mercenary camp for the moment so we can keep pushing, summon more dogs.
Yeah, yeah, the shaman, one more dog, that's it. A few more towers that he was able to soak, and then he went down. The bot lane camp is about to be taken. The Khaldor are going to help out Nomi, pushing this one in, but of course he has to defend against the shaman now. At the top lane, it's still that 4 versus 4 situation with Gary going deep. They're going for Grulum, Wraith walking away. No chance of taking him down, but they are aiming for the fort now.
Raynor does get stunned up. He does have his trait available. He is able to back away. Raiders focusing hard onto Vipolino. The March of the Black King coming in from Leoric does not keep him alive. But Vipolino dropped very low. There is 2 Banshees still left doing a lot of damage. And in comes the silence. Does not... Oh, it does land on Malfurion.
Yeah, and Frieza is getting healed. Wow, also, of course, his trade activating there. Vipolino takes him down, but they lose 2 heroes in the process because of it. Jaina and Muradin dying. So it's a 2-for-3 trade in the end. And with Grulum also being on Leoric, they will be back with 4 heroes at their opponent's Immortal in just a few seconds. Both of the teams now with a level 13 talents, and it is indeed double-barreled, which we're seeing here. Not the Giant Killer, which would have led into a more heavier focus on the auto attacks for Raynor.
Yep, so Raynor just continue. Like, Raynor's got a very hybrid build at the moment. The double barreled, like you said, giving him some CC, focus attacks, giving him some extra damage. He's just hybrid everything. Grulum is going to get out here, but it's dropped super low.
Yeah, Leoric is actually one of the priority targets for them right now. Of course, he's always at the front line. We usually see him with the rest of the team, and Johanna was for most of the last fight at the bot lane. Now, on the other hand, it's again the Spanish team that is trying to drop the Immortal, and they are super fast with that. Only Frieza is moving in for a couple of penetrating shots. That's all that he does now. And now that the Immortals are changing positions, this is where Spartanien is moving in again, and they have to make a bit of a stand now.
Yep, they are looking for their opportunity. They need to defend their own Immortal and then get some kills, and that's might be the opportunity. Blessed Shield does land. The Maw only catches Raynor. The Root actually catches one of his Raiders as well. Alistair somehow gets away.
Tetra, not only Raynor, there was a respect Maw right there. Only Raynor captured because he is the big threat to them. If you have Commander Jimmy coming in, then you know that trouble is brewing. And he is moving straight for that Immortal at the top now. The teams have been disengaging, a lot of the heroics have already been used, but the damage coming in a lot faster now. This is looking like, yeah, Huron is going to lose this one, because at the bot lane, Jaina is in trouble. Here comes the Haunting Wave, nice ice block there. Shat might get away, Coco is so low.
Venom.
Oh, they kill Jaina, but what about Coco? No, it's not enough. A double kill. It's a 2-for-1, but they get the Immortal.
Yep, 2-for-1 in favor of Spartanien there. Sorry, in favour of Huron there, but Spartanien do get the Immortal, but it doesn't have that much shield. Alistair using this opportunity, throwing down all of his summons there to take down the bottom fort because everyone's gone back to base.
Hashtag worth it. They have the Immortal up at the top lane now. The bot lane, there they lose the fort. That's definitely an issue. But yeah, you're right. I mean, 2 heroes going down for that Jaina kill. They get the Immortal as well, but the problem, of course, is he's not going to do too much damage. Leoric dying again. Grulum started this game off with a solo kill against Nazeebo, but since then, he has been a big focus for Team Huron, and they have taken him down like countless times.
Chat has reminded me that I am an idiot, and Adrenaline Rush is no longer Raynor's trait and was in fact moved to where his E would be, and his trait is now Advanced Optics, so thank you, chat. I feel silly.
Yeah, well, he got changed a lot, and at some point I really thought that we might see him back in the game. I feel with the changes that come in at the PTR, we might see him a bit more often. It would be cool if he would actually be back. It is the bullseye build, so the double penetrating shot on level 13, and then the focus on it on level 16 now. And with that Cold Embrace, that is a lot of potential burst damage that you have there. Both of the teams on 16. Here comes the Wailing Arrow once again, silencing everybody, but a kill attempt coming in already. Vipolino is super low here, gets condemned and focused, but Frieza barely getting away, and he's dying. Oh, Raynor down, Johanna down, and Huron with the victory in the team fight.
Yeah, they're able to take down Uther as well. Coco and the Grulum, the only ones left alive, and Grulum is attempting to B, but there's a Mutalisk stopping him, so he has to reposition there. And this gives complete free reign for Huron to push down this top lane. Gonna see a quick pause though.
Yeah, we have a quick pause here right now, so with that, we also have a chance to go on the talents again. So at this point, it's the renewed swing that we are seeing for Grulum. Normally when you see renewed swing, it is on level 7, the paralyzed rage target, which you don't see here, but he still wants to have the double swing in here. I'm a bit surprised to see that, to be honest with you, because I expected consume vitality to be taken on level 16. Maybe he misclicked. Both of those have the same icon, so that could be one of the reasons. But yeah, renewed swing for me doesn't make too much sense if you forego the level 7 talent and go for lingering apparition instead.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's still extra damage, but it means you have to get a lot closer. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. This is a quite enclosed map, so I'm curious.
So we are seeing, again, keep being pushed now. It is, of course, this 5 versus 2 situation, and I guess Leoric and Sylvanas just don't have what it takes to really keep this keep alive. And yep, there we go. It's already dropped. The Immortals are being announced again, and this is a solid experience lead as well that we're seeing for Huron now. The Spanish team find themselves in a very solid position after this last team fight that they took handily.
Yeah, they are looking great at the moment. As such, we're seeing them all run back to their fountain, not going to be back to base, just grabbing fountain, grabbing mercenaries, and preparing for that next Immortal fight. Nazeebo is just going to quickly de-push the bot lane.
Red X, Vipolino, and Shad over here. In comes an attack against Jaina though with the kill. Very nice move for Team Spartanien. They get that kill, and that was an important one. Now they might be able to pick that Immortal, but they are moving in against Zagara. Punish used by Nomi. They were going deep for this one. Grulum has to move back. You remember what happened the last time. Gary is putting some last damage points in, but now it's a 5 versus 4 in favor of Spartanien, so they have a chance of starting that comeback.
Yeah, they're looking to defend their Immortal for the moment, just leaving Raynor on his own to attack the Immortal of Huron, and they get a lot of damage onto Red X. Grulum with the renewed swing actually does a lot of damage. Margin, the Black King rolls in, the silence has landed on Zagara, but Tranquility keeping her alive, but no, Grulum finally finishes her off.
Grulum gets the kill, and they are trying to go for another one. He already moves away with a Wraith Walk, barely survives here, but he does. Vipolino, and Grulum is still running, but the Mutalisk is taking off.
It was so one hit away and he was like, nah.
Well, we have the attack to the right side. Grulum needs to be careful that he doesn't get dropped by the Immortal, to be honest with you. Nomi and Glucosa are trying to protect their own Immortal here. Coco is even helping out a bit with this, but Frieza, of course, getting a lot of damage in right now, and you can really tell that this is going to end up being their Immortal. Or is it a kill down here against the Nazeebo? Yes, they get it! They get that kill. Great play again by Spartanien. They were far behind, but now they are on their way to crawl back into this match to take maybe a victory. They're all welling up together now, and that gives maybe Huron a bit of a time window that they can use to drop damage in. Nah, doesn't look like they want to risk it.
Chad, thinking about it, he's just looking for single members right now, but he's completely on his own. He did see 3 members in the bottom lane, so he knew he would have found just Johanna, because Leoric is also visible currently in the top lane, but now Spartanien continuing to regroup up and look for targets of their own.
Yeah, and Huron finds themselves in this vicious cycle where they are always one hero down because they also lost Nazebo. They are in a 5 versus 4 situation again. Shat flanking from behind, trying to put the damage in against Sylvanas, but the Divine Shield keeping her alive. Grulu moving away from the roots from Malfurion. They try to take the Immortal down, but a lot of stuns, especially against Nomi, who moves in with another Condemn to position himself properly against Vipolino. Grulu in trouble the more, and the kill against Leoric.
We're going to see Coco drop to a Mutalisk as well. Nomi in full retreat, and the turnaround from Huron is huge. Nomi, last one left alive, is getting focused down here, but he is, Johanna, able to tank a lot of damage, but not that much. Down he goes, and Huron move on to the Immortal.
Crazy.
No, they don't.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Again, Huron turning the fight around easily. They are close to level 20. They're trying to take the tower so that they hit level 20, and then they can go straight for the core, which is exactly what they're currently doing here. Level 20 just dropped. They have the last talent in the game. That means rewind for the Stormbolts, of course, and they are moving in, even taking arcane power now. All that they want to is to drop this core as fast as they can. That's why we see Fury of the Storm as well, and they do it. It is the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series here for the Spanish team against Spartanien. Huron team with a solid performance here in game number 1, and they take the lead. They need only one more map to advance to the next round of the Road to BlizzCon tournament, the second qualifier for Europe. And well, our second map is actually going to be Cursed Hollow, so we're a bit of a normal map right now, a map that the teams are very familiar with. They have played this map for months now, and Spartanien is also relying on their Sylvanas again. So Sylvanas again in the lineup, but this time they exchanged Raynor for Vala. Probably a pretty good move. I mean, Raynor can be very strong. The problem with him is his positioning, and oftentimes also, of course, that he doesn't really have an escape. On the side of Huron, we have a bit more of an aggressive comp here once again. They're running this with a Tyrande. They have Mirrodin in the midst now as well, and a Jaina in the backline is going to provide most of the damage, but there's also an Azebo to consider. That means, though, that they only run a single tank now, and it is that Mirrodin that we've been talking about. So it's all about getting that Hunter's Mark on a Talon and then stun into stun with Tyrande, Mirrodin, and making sure that Jaina drops the damage. So Huron is trying to snipe early on in the game a few heroes, tries to get a lead, and then take a 2-0 victory against Spartanien here. If they can do that, or if the German team is able to come back into the best of 3 series here at the Road to BlizzCon tournament, that's something we'll find out together now on Cursed Hollow. Game number 2, everybody, on Cursed Hollow, and we have currently, of course, once again, Spartanien versus Huron. Germany versus Spain, and Spain is in the lead. Huron team took the map, they took Battlefield of Eternity, and now we have to the left side of the map, Glucosa on Uther for Spartanien, Coco on Sylvanas, Nomi on Johanna, they have Grulum again on Leoric, and Frieza this time on Vala over Raynor. To the right side of the map, Vipolino on Mirrodin for Huron team. Radix on Azebo, Hiruko on Malfurion, Shat on Tyrande, and Alastor is playing Jaina in this game. This is potentially the last map of the best of 3 series, depending on how exactly Spartanien is able to close this one out. Can they force a third game? Yes or no? We're going to find out together. Here I'm Khaldor, and with me is Tetcher. We're going to bring you the coverage in game number 2 here at the Road to BlizzCon Qualifier.
Right now, both teams just grouping up in the middle lane and then spinning up to their individual lanes as the minions do arrive. Leoric heading down to the bot lane on his own, tri-lane in the top lane for the rest of Spartanien, and currently, Huron, still all as 5 in the mid lane, are finally beginning to split off.
Yeah, they are starting to split, and they were of course hoping for a kill, but they didn't get it. Nomi with Knight takes pawn. At this point, really, Knight takes pawn is just like the standard. I can't even remember when it was the last time that I saw a Johanna not go for Knight takes pawn on the first level. Back in the days, you still had some Johannas going into Regeneration Master Talents and then Amplified Healing, which was pretty cool. But then everybody just found out, well, that trait is pretty good and you shouldn't really die. And Knight takes pawn is just so amazing to push lanes back that it is established as just the talent on level 1 for Johanna.
Pretty much, and the fact that it is just so good for, like you said, pushing the lane back, and also it's good for counteracting mercenaries due to the fact it does keep them stunned for that little bit longer and really eases pressure.
Grulum at the bot lane with his big club against Jaina, and she's riding the pony side saddle, riding in style once again. But to the top lane, that's where we are seeing most. I don't really want to call it the action because there's not too much happening. It's just basically the tri-lanes standing off against each other. But there is a bit of a wraparound, and Vipolino and Shad are trying to move in from behind. And yep, there they could get potentially a kill. Oh, but Vipolino misses his stumble.
Vipolino having to back up, takes a lot of counter damage from Coco here, but gets the heal from Shad. So he was already fine, but now it allows him to go and roam a bit more. Red X, on the other hand, does need still a bit of help because Coco is continuing to go aggressive onto these towers.
Yeah, Coco at this point, I mean, he can. Shadow Dagger just spamming that out, that alone already helps. They have their level 4 talent now too, with once again the Boundless Conviction. Glucosa is going to have a lot more fun with his regeneration talent on level 1, the Conjurer's Pursuit, because on this map it's going to be much easier for him to get his globes together, so mana regeneration shouldn't be an issue for him. We have again Vipolino and Shad on Muradin Tyrande roaming through the map and trying to get their kills in. The Owl is already going in, and the kill against Jaina happens before anything else. So great move here on the side of Spartanien to get the first tribute, the kill that they needed, and yes, this is going to be an easy tribute for them.
Yeah,
and
maybe
even another kill.
Shad.
Yeah.
But Shad gets healed up. The root from Malfurion zoning out everyone from Spartanien, and Shad does get away.
By the way, like, why then a zebra? Why? Why, Shad? Why?
Yeah, it's kind of like barely color coordinated, but not enough to make it worth.
And Pedo Muradin is back to action, by the way. Just saying, Vipolino back on his pick.
Did you have to go there, really?
Dude, I did not design that skin. It's not my fault, alright? So don't beat up the messenger here.
It's candy.
Yeah, but every time I see him, it's just like, you want to have some candy? You know exactly that's what it is. Just look at him. He's this old creepy guy that just gives candy around. What else are you going to think? The creepiest thing that you can see in the game is Muradin going up against a Lily.
Freud has many things to say about you, man.
I guess he would have had a lot of fun. But yeah, over here, the second tribute is spawning now, and, well, this is going to be a fight that I think they are willing to take. They have Ruruk in position, Vipolino is already there, Glucosa has used his own skills to find out where exactly he is. Vipolino is missing a lot of his Stormbolts at this point, by the way.
Yeah, and he is against Nomi, so the irony is not lost. Alistair coming in, doing a lot of damage to Bruno.
I was trying to avoid it for as long as possible, and you just were like, I don't care. I'm doing it. He doesn't do it, I'll take it.
Vipolino taking quite a bit of damage. Stormbolt does not land just out of range here. Not a miss at all, but Muradin does go down. Yeah,
so at this point we have... Yeah, Vipolino missing more Stormbolts than Nomi in this case. So right now, actually, like they didn't have this one. That was the one reason why they got the tribute in this case. So unstable poison, conviction. We have of course again after Hardened Bones also the lingering apparition, and the searing attacks for the multi-shot build Vala. No big surprises here when it comes to talents. I mean, like, the only one that you could really mention, I suppose, is that we're having, again, the Ranger build on Tyrande on level 4 here. So on level 16 is going to be the Ranger's talent that she's going to aim for. Camps are being taken by the teams now. But besides that, the only thing that is really noteworthy is that we have Enduring Growth taken from Malfurion over Cleanse. So he doesn't really feel like he needs to use Cleanse to stop any of these stuns that we potentially see here, but instead wants to get the max heal out. And I guess considering the composition that Spartanien plays, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, Red X does get pulled in by a Condemn there, but once again able to back away, was easily near enough to his wall.
Down to the bot lane, we are seeing Grulo moving away again. Lingering Apparition and Hardened Bones making it easy for him to escape. And currently, up here to the top, Nomi is the only one waiting at the tribute. We have a lot of pressure at the top lane, by the way, with that Siege Giant camp. A slight experience lead currently for Spartanien. Red X is the one who had to move away here. He's super low, he can't even well up. That should be an easy tribute now, and that would be Curse. Spartanien is going to get that in. That Owl is actually... Did it hit? It hit, yeah. Just barely. Just barely cancelling that channel.
Was clipped by the wing.
Well, over over here in the mid lane right now. We have Alistar and Iruka still fighting off against Gulum and Frieza. That tribute still not taken, but level 10 is going to be available to Spartanien any second now. That would be amazing on them. Again, like Glucosa is getting seriously annoyed by this. He's just like, leave me alone, you stupid owl. But yeah, this time he's actually going to get the channel through, and that is Curse against Huron.
I don't want to go to Hogwarts. I want to learn maths and science and English. Things that are specifically avoided at Hogwarts, considering that the children are 10.
Well, Hedwig apparently doesn't heed that wish and is just moving in over and over again and trying to nudge him into that direction. So, yep. Does that mean that Jaina is actually Hermione? Wow. Mind blown right there.
Well, she is like the most competent wizard out of all of them, so I guess.
The boss, of course, being attacked right now. They have level 10, and with that extra talent and also the curse against them, they're just saying, hey, Huron, do whatever you want, but you're not going to get this boss. No level 10 yet, and yes, there it is. The boss is there, the 10 hits too late, and a great move on the side of Spartanien. They get the Rain of Vengeance in, and they drop 2 heroes, and this is horrible for Huron. This is atrocious. The boss is still pushing. The curse is there for another 8 seconds, and they have killed 2 targets. So at this point, Spartanien can do on the map whatever they want and simply go down to the bot lane and take boss number 2 if they desire to.
Yeah, that's what they're heading down to do. They're also going to grab a couple towers in the mid lane on their way. That boss isn't going anywhere, whereas this fort, they're going to at least expose it so they can deal with it later. Moving back to Fountain, making sure they're healthy, because if they are planning to take that boss, they don't want to get caught out.
Yeah, the bot lane, we have now the boss about to be taken in just a bit. At least being attacked now. Level 12 is close. They're on level 10 now. But it is a move on the side of Huron. So Huron defended against the boss. We didn't really see Spartanien do too much with that double kill that they got there. The death time is of course rather low at this point, so there's not really too much that you can do, but they at least are aiming for another camp here, but it looks like the Spanish team is ready to fight for it.
Stun almost on Johanna. It was cleansed out nicely by Upa there, but Huron able to take that bruiser camp, but it won't last very long due to the fact, well, Sylvanas is Sylvanas and is able to wipe that so quickly.
Frieza at the bot lane is the only one. He has to be very careful because there comes the pain train led by Vipolino. He's already going in, and Glucosa is of course ready for the heals. All of their heroic abilities are off cooldown with the exception of the Starfall on the side of Tyrande, and it will be back in just a few seconds. So we have a Divine Shield if need be, but it's just lane pushing that we're seeing from Spartanien.
And Spartanien continuing to push up at the moment, and this Huron, not much they can do about this. They can just drop damage and wait to see if they can catch someone. But other than that, they are just playing super passively. Now Furion and Nazebo on their way down to the bot lane to try and help defend here. But they have to go such a long way around. That's a lot of damage though. But the Divine Shield just keep alive. Wailing Arrow takes down Jaina.
Really well done. They're trying to zone them out with the Starfall, and Gary comes into play, the Gargantuan moving straight in, but it's a bit too late already. Jaina is down, and that is the biggest damage dealer in the lineup of Huron, so without her, they can't really do too much to really stop this. The level 13 talent, of course, makes it even worse. We have a triple Spell Shield. Could even see another one, but nope, Leoric just says, Spell Shield, I don't need that. I'm going to go straight into my own Burning Rage, and that will deliver a bit more damage during those team fights. And with this situation now, having the extra talent, that's just saying this boss is ours, and the tribute spawns right next to it.
Yeah, Spartanium looking amazing in this game. Grum taking damage, but, well, he's the Auric, just able to tank all of that. And Johanna even rolling in there with her Iron Skin to make sure that she doesn't get stunned up by the boss.
It's a really annoying situation for Team Huron. They have Alistar at the top lane, so experienced. They know that they need their talent. They're claiming whatever they can on the map, and in this case that means they're going for a Siege Giant camp. But the boss is now pushing down the lane, and we are seeing Sylvanas again pushing this in with her Black Arrow trait, using the Shadow Dagger whenever she can, and that allows the boss to move straight onto the keep. Jaina up at the top lane has to be back. This is a really tricky spot right now for them to be in.
There's the Blessed Shield coming in onto Nazebo. He takes a lot of damage, but the Tranquility keeps him alive. So close.
No way. That really looked like he would die there, but he gets away in the last second, and the wall still falls. But of course now also that means that Tranquility is on cooldown. Nice root against Tyrande, and they get the kill against her. Well done by Spartanien. Again on the move with a kill against Jaina.
Thala dropped super low here, but she's just next to Glucosa at the back here in no danger at all. And we see Grulum as well just getting out of there. Boss still on half health. The keep goes down. And we are seeing Spartanien looking super good to take this.
Yeah, they're looking extremely good now. They have a 3-level lead. They don't want to go for core just yet because they realize that it would be a bit too greedy, especially since the death timers are still very low. We are only 11 minutes into the match, and they know that they are in a superior position. They can just simply move into the mid lane, take another fort. There's a tribute spawning at the top that they can also catch on their way back. That will also allow them to get very close to level 16. And as long as they get that talent, they're going to look at a great advantage for a potential next curse. And also, keep in mind that those bosses are going to be up in another 20 seconds.
Yeah, Valor almost grabbing that tribute, but is interrupted by the Owl, and that's not actually good news. He has to back away from this due to the fact that everyone from Huron is here to contest this now, and because of that, everyone from Spartanien has to stop what they're doing and come up to help.
They took another wave and therefore are now level 16. It's a 3-level lead. We finally had the 13 talents drop for Huron. Huron, by the way, without a single kill in the entire game. Not a single kill. And now with the level 16 talents, we're seeing a renewed swing taken again. So he really wants it for the extra damage. It was not a misclick in the last fight. We thought he might have tried to go for Consume Vitality, since Grulum dropped a lot on the first game, died way too often, and Consume Vitality would have helped him to stay alive a bit longer. But now we are having a big battle for that boss again, but 16 versus 13 talents, that leaves Spartanien with a very good situation.
Yeah, and they're trying to make the most of it. That boss still not been leashed, is still fighting away here, but it's mostly focusing Spartanien and Gary. Gary goes down, they're going for the circle. Vipolino is in it with Grulum.
Yeah, they're going straight for it again, and there comes the Rain of Vengeance. They're dropping Malfury. Now they go for Red X, and he is dead. The Condemn pulling him in again after he was trying to run away. Vipolino just jumps away. Alistar, Shat, and he are the last ones to escape here. At least they're trying to. Can Nobi move in? Nah, he can't. He can't go for another Condemn here, but the situation is bad enough as it is.
Yeah, Spartanien just going to push in with this one, and they're going to be able to take down the towers. At least the boss is now here. Uther just using up all his mana right now, healing his team up to full healthiness. Muradin jumping away, gets condemned though, but able to Stormbolt himself to safety.
A 5 versus 5 still, but 16 versus 13 talents, and keep number 2 is down. There is a tribute on the map that would be the 3rd tribute in the hands of Spartanien, so they can just move back, curse their opponents, and the boss down here, another minute and 20 for it. We have also more camps available. There's a Siege Giant camp, 2 Siege Giant camps actually, and also a Bruiser camp. So Spartanien, they still have a solid lead, and they know that it's going to take more than a level for Huron to catch their level 16 talent. So with that curse, they can now push in whichever lane they want. They can put pressure onto the mid keep if they wanted to, or just take another boss and try to finish with it.
Red team.
Yes, they have all the freedom in the world. They're in fact going to try and raid the easy camp of Huron here. Huron attempting to take it. Coco has vision, and Huron are just going to let that leash. They do not want to take the risk of getting picked off when they already have a lot of their keeps down.
Camp after camp is now taken by Spartan, and they're starting to move in the middle now too. Grulum already using the double swing to take that minion wave down, and Vipolino is the only one who's really trying to stand tall against it. Coco with that black arrow. Sylvanas pretty good when it comes to pushing lanes.
Yeah, and they can continue to keep doing this with the curse. The tower's not even firing back normally, let alone with the help of Sylvanas, and they will get the 3rd keep of the game. There's already minions pushing all the other lanes, and we're seeing Spartanien moving in here. They want to try and find someone to get a kill. There is the Blessed Shield, the silence onto Jaina, but the root from Malfurion keeps her alive.
16 talents now for Huron, and they're trying to go in against Leoric. This time he moves away with the Wraith Walk, but in comes the attack against Uther, and Uther getting pummeled into the ground, has to use the Divine Shield on himself, is trying to escape, but the stun and the kill against him. First kill for them, but the core is under pressure and down to 85%. They have to turn around, they can't chase, and that opens up a timing window where Spartanien can go for the boss at the bot lane.
Yeah, unfortunately they were not able to hit level 20, still not even level 19, in time for Uther to die and grab that redemption so that he comes back to life. Al will just see this happening, and there is absolutely nothing they can do about it.
And now the boss is going to push the bot lane hard with 28 seconds on Uther. It's very unlikely that Spartanien is really going to try and end the game with it. But of course that focuses the entire attention of Huron down to the bot lane. They have to meet this boss. They cannot allow the boss to go forward to the core and put even more damage on it, because if the core drops more hit points, it will just mean that Spartanien has a very good shot in the later stages of the game to go for a simple snipe against the core and try a backdoor strategy. They're moving through the middle at this point, so they know that it's very difficult, even without the 4th hero, to stop that. They're not committing it though, okay, so they're playing it safe, they're just going for the bruiser camp instead.
Yeah, but this means they can go in with 3 camps. The boss is about to die, but there is already some catapults in the top lane. Now bruisers in the mid lane. Uther is now back, so they're going to be pushing this mid lane with 2 sets of bruisers and their full team. Uther has now arrived, so they're going to start to push this in.
Yeah, they're going for it. They have the entire camp wave here that you already mentioned, and also those catapults, and the catapults are starting to do damage. They only have to draw this out. Time is working in their favor. Spartanien knows also that they're going to have the level 20 talent very soon, so waiting for it. The waves are all there. Nomi moves in with a condemn. They get the experience. Only a few more minion kills, and they will have level 20, and there it is. This is going to give them an even bigger advantage now. They have the indestructible talent, Hard and Shield. Move in with another great coordination here. Very well done, a good combo using Condemn, using Rally Arrow, the Divine Shield on Sylvanas, and it's a kill against Jaina. They're trying to go for a core. Frieza just barely getting away, blinking away from the spiders and Gary, but 50% on the core. This is looking bad for Huron.
Yeah, there's still catapults dealing with this. March of the Black King comes out from Grudem. He gets stunned up. We see Vipolino escape there, but there's still 4 people on the core. That is GG, and the score is evened up to 1-1.
A tie in the series, Spartanien with a victory on Cursed Hollow. The German team delivers in game number 2 on Cursed Hollow. They take down the Spaniards, and now the series is tied. We are going into the final map of the best of 3 to find out which team advances to the next round, Spartanien or Huron. The map is Dragonshire, and we're seeing for Spartanien this time again a Vala. They are really liking to play with that Vala here. They also have a Zagara, so they can use a Maw setup for potential Rain of Vengeance if they decide to do though. They are the ones who pick up the Leoric this time, so it's Leoric and Muradin on their side. But then looking at what we have seen on the side of their opponent, we have again that Jaina for Huron team. Jaina run by Huron, and they also have an Azebo together with their double warrior combo. In this case it is Saterial together with a Johanna. Everything is on the line here. If you lose this map, then you are out of the second road to BlizzCon Qualifier. The team that wins though advances through the bracket, and we are getting closer to home. We're getting closer to that round of 8, where there's also going to be a double elimination system to determine more spots, more teams that will then qualify for that important European final for Road to BlizzCon. So guys, let's jump right into it. Dragonshire, map number 3, the final map between Spartanien and Huron team. Game number 3, the last map in the series here at the Road to BlizzCon Qualifier. There's a lot of money on the line. There's also, of course, these 2 qualification spots for the final in Prague that you want to go to. And in this case now, we are having on Dragonshire the 2 teams clashing against each other once again. Spartanien versus Huron, and to the left side of the map, the German team with Glucosa on Malfurion, and Gurulum again on Leoric. Coco is playing Vala, Nomi on Muradin, Frieza on Zagara, and to the right side, it is the Spanish team with Vipolino on Johanna. Huron team is running Alistar on Jaina, Shadow on Tyrael, Radex on Azebo, and Hiruka on Uther. Let's find out which team is going to take it there. It's the last map, ladies and gentlemen. The last and final map, and already cool talents on level 1 for some of those heroes.
Yeah, we do see a bit of a scuffle in this mid-death rush though, and just out. Gurulum being dropped super low there, being hit by basically every frog. But yeah, level 1, Shando's Clarity coming in from the Malfurion, giving him that reduced cooldown on Innovate, which is mana regenability. The multi-shot build coming in from Valor, Perfect Storm, that stacking coming in from Muradin.
I really like that we are having now the Innovate talents. I feel those are extremely strong, especially when you run a like if you run a Kel'Thas, if you run a Jaina or a Zagara, they are just so good because you can spam your spells. And Frieza could, for example, also just simply head into battle momentum on level 7 and then get even more spells out with it. Down to the bot lane, on the other hand, Nomi hitting his first Stormbolt. They won't be able to get the kill against Red X, but they at least drop him in hit points and also scare him away.
It forces him to Fountain, which means they can put even more pressure on him. And if they are able to get him low enough that he has to get out of lane, then they're going to be in a great position. And Uther, attempting to gank there, immediately gets rooted by Malfurion.
Yeah, up here. Oh, Hiruka actually with a quick pause. We had a lot of those today, so especially the Spanish internet seems to have a bit of problems there, but Spartanien is known to be a pretty fair play team, so there's no way that they're going to try and abuse that. But we are going to have a look at the laning phase now. We are seeing, again, Jaina currently roaming. So Jaina and Hiruka have been moving between the mid lane and the top lane most of the time, and of course you have a lot of burst damage on Jaina herself. Hiruka can provide a stun, so that is actually quite scary. It's not as good as having a Muradin with it as well, or a Tyrande that can go for a range stun, but it's a pretty solid setup, and if you can surprise someone by moving out of one of these bushes, then you can really get the kill in. Nomi is doing a very similar thing, just moving in between the mid and the bot lane and trying to put pressure onto Red X, but now that the shrines are up, it's going to be interesting to see which team is actually going to claim the first Dragonite. The top lane should actually end up in the favor of Team Spartanien, since they have, with Zagara in particular, a very, very strong hero here.
Yeah, they can take a huge amount of pressure onto that, especially with the sustain they get, like you said, from Zagara with the large amount of damage, and where from the Malfurion is going to keep them nice and healthy, but he needs to do that now, as Frieza, dropped very low from that gank squad, is able to get out though.
Yeah, Coco and Frieza have taken a lot of damage in this first scuffle here up at the top. And for now, to the bot lane, it's again, yeah, Grulum is actually pushing the Zebo back quite a bit. This is also the fight that they already had on Battlefield of Eternity. Back then it was a solo kill that Grulum got against Nazebo. So it's kind of fun that both of them are facing each other again on a different map though.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. So, oh, Zagara not getting stunned. The Blizzard doesn't finish her off though.
Yeah, but that was close. Frieza is super close and now has to move away. Bot lane is still being pressured. Grulum with a skeleton swing is doing whatever he can. We have now in the mid lane Vipolino and Nomi, the two tanks. There's not too much happening here, but Vipolino actually getting rid of a few creep tumors. And on level 4 now even versatile taken, so that you have an additional mana return.
Malfurion up in the top lane is a bit out of position here, but with a nice route onto Shad, gives himself a good escape route, and Hiruka having to get out of there because the Hunter Killer was doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, currently up at the top, once again, Coco dishing out the damage. We're having, of course, with Malfurion now putting in the extra talents for Innervate, a lot of mana on these two heroes, so they can really spam their spells, which is one of the reasons why I'm a bit surprised that Coco doesn't just hammer out those multi-shots a bit more.
Yeah, but I mean, he can do that now. You can see he's still on full mana at the moment. Nomi getting condemned, used the Dwarf Toss, but is completely fine. Takes a lot of those long-range harass abilities, but none of them enough to take him down.
Yeah, top lane, both of the shrines, by the way, now in the hands of Spartanien. And at the top lane, Frieza and Coco are getting their spells out. But again, I mean, I have to say it again, Coco is not spamming his spells, and he is on full mana, so he could definitely just use those multi-shots and arrows a bit more, especially with Glucosa going for the Innervate talents. But they rotate over in the mid lane and trying to lock somebody down here. But it is the attack against Malfurion, and he was a bit too far out, so they lose him, and that will deny them the option of getting the Dragonite.
They were not only able to kill Malfurion there, but with that Holy Radiance that Uther cast out, he did interrupt the Dragon Knight capture just in time for Tyrael to take control of that top shrine.
Yeah, Tyrael has taken that. Shad at the top lane, going up against Coco now on Vala. Vala still very much on full mana so far, so she can use it again. They have Frieza already moving in. It's actually kind of interesting to see that even with that tri-lane, a very strong tri-lane by the way that we had, we did not see any of these towers taking too much damage. I mean, half HP on this one. I expected them to be able to push that in a lot more than that. So yeah, so far it looks like we are seeing a very, very solid defense here on the side of the Spanish team, and they are ahead in experience, taking the level 7 talents a few seconds faster than Spartanien.
Yeah, Malfurion was thinking about coming down to this middle lane to help try and capture this Dragon Knight, but for now, Nomi is on his own as Malfurion has to go top to help his team defend this top shrine, as Alistair is attempting to take it himself with the help of Hiruka and Shad.
Yeah, Coco, it's surprising to me also that he didn't go for an arrow build. Normally when you're playing on Dragonshire, the arrow build is by oh, nice jump in on the side of Nomi. Does he get a good start off? No, he's actually in trouble here. Needs to get healed, but he's getting dropped. Ah, he missed that original one. But yeah, there comes even a rotation with Vipolino now moving in. They are not content with only one kill. They want to have more than that, and they will get another one against Malfurion, won't they? Yes, can they top Coco? No, they can't, but it is 3 kills against 0 now in their favor.
Zagara actually was able to sneak away behind the enemy lines here and heading straight down to that mid lane so she can soak the XP there.
Yeah, we have, for now, at least searing attacks taken on level 7 for Vala. But yeah, I'm still I was starting to talk about that earlier. I'm a bit surprised that we don't see searing arrow build here, because I don't know, on shrines it feels just so nice to have that extra damage, and I would have expected her to take that. If you go for multi-shot, you usually have more control in the fights with a level 13 talent using the frost shot, and you also can help Zagara to zerg those lanes down a bit more. But yeah, for the battles themselves, for the team fights, I feel like that build would have probably been a bit better for her.
Yeah, I agree, both would have been absolutely viable, but just choosing the multi-shot instead. She is going to use mana with those searing arrows as opposed to the hungering arrows, though. And she can still throw out a hungering arrow. She just doesn't get the health regen and can't recast it after Volt.
Yeah, and also doesn't get the range and the third hit, so
yeah,
that will force her to get a bit closer to, yeah, this is the problem. If you really want to get that in, you basically don't get the advantage of having composite arrow on level 4 again. So Arsenal, I feel they could have replaced Arsenal in this case. We have also this max damage hybrid build that we sometimes see with getting the level 4 talent for the arrow and the level 7 talent for tumble. Up at the top, by the way, we have Zagara taken out. Koku and Glucosa are still pushing that in. Actually, it was the mid lane with Zagara that was dying. But yeah, over here, there's now a rotation happening again. They want to have the shrine, and they have the level 10 talents, and that, of course, forces Spartanien back already. They are way ahead in experience by now, Huron team, that is.
Yep, there is the level 10 talent of Spartanien, so they can now start to contest, but like you said, they are still a level behind. And Shad, attempting to take this, a divine shield from Haruka keeps Shad from being interrupted, and that is the first Dragonite of the game, going over to Huron.
7 minutes in for Huron the Dragonite, well played here by them, and now still no talent taken on level 10 for Leoric. March of the Black King, here we go. Uses it for a second. It looked like he might go for the Entomb, which I didn't really expect here. But nice kill! And also potential second kill against Jaina now.
Can they lock her down? There it is. Yes, they can. And that is 2 kills there. But while this is happening, the Dragonite has had completely free reign up in the top lane.
It really helps them though, because that means that they can defend against this a bit easier. So they're moving up to the top with 2 of the heroes. Nomi gets another Stormbolt in. Stacking up the damage is of course going to be really important for him for the later stages of the game with his perfect Storm on level 1. At the bot lane we have Frieza and Red Axe still facing off against each other, and Glucosa is throwing the mana in again, so Frieza can just spam out his spells once more.
Yeah, and can just continue to do that for as long as he likes. Shad, about to expire, knocks Grulum back a pretty long way. They're trying to focus him down, but not enough. Grulum just going to finish ghosting out.
Yeah, uses the Wraith Walk, and in the bot lane, a potential flank against Frieza. They are baiting him in a bit, and here comes Hiruku with Alastor, that burst damage on Jaina. They're going for Zagara, but the water elemental is too far away. Can't lock them down. Shat, does he have judgment? Oh, he's not in range. And there's Glucosa, of course, just very, very close. And Glucosa has cleansed, so he could have cleansed out that judgment.
He did actually cleanse. He'd already used cleanse, actually. He cleansed out the slow from the water elemental, which is what allowed Frieza to escape.
Actually, really good point there, yeah. So Shad not in range, but if he would have been, he could have taken him out. But for now, it is 4 kills against 2, and that's not going to change anytime soon, I guess. Level 13 will hit for Huron, and that should force Spartanien back for a bit and let them play this a bit safer. But as I said, they rotate down with a 5 versus 4 and trying to get their kill in. Here's the Maw against 2. Nomi jumping in deep, going for the Avatar. They're getting the stuns. Ice Block already used on the side of Jaina. It's the extra talent that we're seeing for Team Huron, but they lose their Nazebo player regardless.
Yeah, Nazebo was also using that ice block there. Didn't help him as much as Jada. They just split up after those ice blocks, and unfortunately it was Nazebo who was focused down.
Yeah, very huge commitment, of course, from Spartanien. And to be honest, they had to do something here. Like, they could have either played it safe and just, like, stayed behind and waited for their own talent to hit. But if they really want to commit like this, then they have to use it all. And that's exactly what they did. They moved in with every single ability that they had. They knew that there was a 5 versus 4 situation. And with that, they got their kills in. Now, though, they might lose this camp down here. There's too many heroes of Huron. Frieza's trying to rotate over. Already Judgment used and Water Elemental. Grulum had to Wraith Walk out of there. And that, of course, gave the camp away to Team Huron.
Yeah, the Judgment there trying to deal the damage to finally finish off that Leoric, but he was stun immune due to being in his Wraith Walk, and the damage was just not enough to finish him off.
Nomi now with one shrine that he captures. Of course, we have at the bot lane still another shrine that Frieza could move towards too. Doesn't really help them too much because at the top Shat is already busy capturing the Sun Shrine. And in the mid lane there's a lot of players for Huron trying to deny a potential Dragonite. Both of the teams now on level 14.
And both teams looking for an opportunity to try and grab the next Dragonite here. Uther currently is chilling in this bush here. Will run into Leoric. And Nazeebo taking quite a bit of damage down here. Needs to be careful. And they do actually get Leoric.
Yeah, Leoric gets killed. Nazeebo, on the other hand, escapes. So Red X gets away thanks to the fort zoning, of course. And we have Huron now with level 15. About to, and up at the top lane, Shat is very much alone, and they are going to get this fort. I mean, there's already a Bruiser camp helping them with us. Down to the bot lane, it's a 4 versus 4 situation now, and I'm not quite sure if Spartanien can really win this. Gulum is here, will revive in a second, that's going to help them for sure, but still, this is going to be a tricky one.
Nomi taking a lot of damage here. Water Elemental comes down on top of him and is trying to focus him down, but with no follow-up damage, Nomi does survive. No deaths in this particular fight.
No deaths just now, and Nomi again, they are trying to go for the fort, but the thing is that Chat is already pushing the wall at the keep. This is tricky, and they are moving back. They are not even taking down the fort. They realize that they have to move back and deal with this, but now we're just seeing them being pursued because the one thing that Huron realized already is, hey boys, as long as we can prevent them from using their Hearthstone to be back, our arterial can do so much damage up at the top lane.
Then comes the Blessed Shield onto the Leoric, trying to deal with it. Tyrael going to be trying to sneak the Dragonite while the fight happens in the bot lane. They've already taken down Leoric, and Nomi was not in time to delay this. The fight continuing in the bot lane, but finally we're going to see Team Spartanien back away from this, and they need to go and defend.
Level 16 Talons with a Numbing Blast, the Holy Ground, and just from a strategical movements on the map, that was so much better for Huron. What we just saw, they took the wall up at the top for that at that keep. They took the Dragonite on the retreat on their way back, and they are in an amazing spot now. 2 levels ahead, a level 16 talent that they can use, a massive advantage over Spartanien. And this is extremely dangerous for the German team. They lose their fort at the bot lane. The Dragonite has already eliminated the one in the mid lane and even took the 2 towers in the mid lane here as well, protecting the keep. Not a good spot for Spartanien to be in.
Dragonite moving up to the top lane, gonna take down this tower here and start working on this keep because the rest of his team's in the bot lane, distracting the entirety of Spartanien. So Nomi, the only one here defending against this. Shad knows he can't finish it off, and now that he's lost vision, he knows he has to back up.
Yeah, backs up already, yeah, but he has that keep down to half health. Shad is on 2 seconds on Dragonite. Should be able to get away though, because he has still Ruin's Might ready. So yep, he is moving away for now in the mid lane, whereby we're having now the team on the right side of the map rotating towards the camps, taking those again. Both of the teams now on level 16, but still that 2-level lead that we are seeing from Huron. Very good game that they're currently playing here. Solid rotations, good team fights, nice positioning. So far they're doing a great job here. And Spartanien, if they want to come back into this, they need to start winning team fights.
Yeah, and they will have to start doing it soon, as, like you said, already 2 levels behind. They are still even on talents. Grulum moving up to the top lane with that renewed swing does actually do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, and we have down here at the bottom lane another pressure against Nomi to force him back again. The root is there to help him with his retreat, and more already being used as well, but not hitting anybody. Only taking a few knights, grabbing those. That didn't help. At the top lane, it's again Leoric, very much alone, getting experience for the team and also pushing this lane back. Not a single fort has fallen yet for Team... oh my god, like for Team Huron, and they move in, take down Nomi, and that opens up a massive opportunity for them to use those 2 mercenary camps that they captured to take down one of the 4 keeps. They could actually even get a second one with this.
Leoric goes with the classic split push strategy here of ignore my team even when we're about to die. Down goes Valor here, and Leoric is like, we don't need keeps, I'm gonna get this fort.
Not really a good performance that we're seeing from Spartanien now. The first 2 games that we saw were much more solid. Now they are struggling a lot, as you can see. They have a few positioning problems here. Leoric is trying to do his thing up at the top lane. He takes down the fort, but at what cost? 2 keeps are down, and the 3rd one is not going to make it either. So level 20 talents have now dropped for Huron too. They are in a perfect spot now.
Yeah, 1 fort for 3 keeps and even more kills. Down goes Nomi again.
Ouch.
And Huron are thinking about maybe going to end here. No, they are just going to back out. But on the bright side, Grulum did get the shrine.
You're an ass. On the bright side. Where's that bright side? Well, what I'm looking at, it's very, very dark. There's no brightness.
A little. You have to look for positives.
Well, I guess the positive thing is that their suffering will end soon, because Shat is currently taking the Dragon Knight, and I guess we all know how this is going to end with a level 20 advantage that they have. No Keep being alive anymore, and Shat now on the Dragon Knight, so there is only one conclusion.
Yeah, and that is a dancing Dragon Knight. Shat with the slash dance is going to move in here. It's a 15-minute Dragon Knight, so it's going to be dealing about 700 to 800 per auto attack on the core. March of the Black King from Leoric does come out. There's the punt onto Nobi, which does do quite a lot. Down goes Leoric. The strafe from Coco in the back, trying to buy time, but it is interrupted, and Dragon Knight just moves on to core.
The Maw against Jaina. The Dragon Knight is already starting to attack the core, but we have Jaina down, and Johanna is using Indestructible here. Are they going to be able to defend? The Dragon Knight is still on more than half health, and he is doing 800 damage with every single swing of the axe. They move in 50% on the core, and Huron team, they are just trying to put the damage in, but half of the team moving away here actually. Red X with Bellino are very low, and it looks like for now, it looks like they can defend.
Grulum moving in here, wants to try and get Vipolino here. There is the Iron Skin trait popped, trying to get away, but down goes Johanna. Materials backdooring. He's in there with some minions, just trying to take down the core, and with 4 catapults, he will do it. That is GG, even being for style. Well played, and that is going to be Huron moving on to the next round.
Huron team decides the series with the 2-1 in their favor. Solid play by the Spanish team. Unfortunately for the Germans, they were not able to take them down. Spartanien is out of the Road to BlizzCon Qualifier. They have another shot in the third qualifier, of course, but for now, their time is over. Huron team, on the other hand, they advance through the bracket now, and we're going to see them in the later rounds of the Road to BlizzCon Qualifier again. Congratulations to them, of course, first of all, for taking this series with a 2-1. The Spanish team very successful here so far. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and also the games, of course. If you did, make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. If you have any questions, then just write them straight into that comment section on YouTube. You can also find the bracket there in case that you're curious how your favorite team progressed through the brackets, or if they are still in the competition. And well, subscribe to Khaldor TV if you want to make sure that you don't miss Road to BlizzCon action, because we're going to have more videos in the near future. And that's it for today, boys and girls. So see you next time with more Heroes of the Storm and Road to BlizzCon on Khaldor TV. Have a great day. Bye bye.